Testing 1, 2, 3. Geraldine, I just seen it. I think that was it. Can y'all hear me and see me now? Good gracious at the results. So everybody good, right? All right, let's see if we can't share this. Bear with me as we present lesson 5 most awkwardly. Y'all want me to continue on tonight even though we're using a new platform? There you go, Geraldine. Go to All-Stars Challenge. Not All-Stars, but the challenge. I'm sorry, the challenge. I told you wrong. Challenge tab. I'm still all shook up trying to figure this out. Go to, there you go. You're finding it the right way. Okay, right there. And let's take a look. Let's scroll down. Check this out, everybody. Paulette, big round. Y'all see it now, right? We'll figure this out where I'll be able to do it too. But Paulette, y'all, we're 4 weeks and Paulette is down 30.6 pounds. Big round of applause for Paulette. Way to go. Look at Sandy Gregg, 24.2 pounds. Great job. Ken, 24. D, 23.8. Isn't that awesome, y'all? Check out Aaron, brother Aaron, 20 pounds down in 4 weeks. Susie, 18. Danita, 17.6. Amanda, 17.4. Michelle, 17. And looks like M. Young, that's M. Young, 16.8. And then over in the percentage of body weight loss, Michelle is kicking it at almost 10% in 1 month. M. Young, 9.6. Deanda, 9.3. Ken, 8.8 of his beginning body weight already gone. We're just going into week 5. Janice, 8.6, Tina, 8.5, Renda, 8.4, Paulette, 8.3, Susie, 8.1, and JR, 7.4. And then look at those walk miles. Carol is just nailing the walk miles. Pam's always killing it there. My mom, 168 miles. Good stuff. Great top 10. Let's go down to steps and exercise reps and battles. Check out the steps are kind of going to be in alignment with the walk miles. You've got huge exercise reps. Nancy, 41,000 exercise reps. Now that's getting some blood flow to the muscles. Great job, everybody, on steps and exercise. But look at the battles won. Janice Goff has won. Boy, she's making friends and influencing people, isn't she? She has 238 battles won. 238. Great job. Good job, everybody. Good deal. Yeah, I bet it's a pop-up blocker. All right, here we go. All right, Geraldine's pulled it off for us. Before you go through the slides, Geraldine, let me start with our book, everybody. We're in the book. We're in the faith-driven book. If you haven't got your copy, we hope that you will. Let your moderation be known unto all men. The Lord is at hand. Philippians 4:5, page 294. Page 294 is where we're starting. This is lesson 5. And we're mastering the grocery store perimeter. So one of the things that we did, everybody can hear me, right? I'm still feeling awkward. My mic doesn't light up or anything. So y'all can all hear me. And then Geraldine will pull the PowerPoint up. So let me start you with on page 295 now. Some of them's getting kicked out of the meeting. I don't know why. So we built this program so that anybody could do it with nothing but a local grocery store. If you have to adhere to a lifestyle, everybody hear me out. If your lifestyle is all about supplements, all about meal replacement bars and shakes and funky stuff, it will never be a lifestyle. Y'all agree with that, right? What we need is to be able to get our food supply from the Piggly Wiggly, the Kroger. Is there still a Piggly Wiggly? The Food City, the Super Walmart, the Winn-Dixie, the Ingles. We need to be able to get everything we need from the local grocery store. And then we learn our program. We learn how to combine these foods. Now, certainly supplements and meal replacements and shakes, they're the bomb. They'll help you even go faster, but it's likely that you will not be able to live that and make that your forever program. That's why I feel like what we do here is so important, because we're teaching you nutrition and how food breaks down in the body. We meet you where you are. We meet you at the grocery store. When this program started, it started by accident, if you want to call it an accident, but God ordered our steps. And it started with me taking people through the local grocery store, through the Kroger. And that's why it's been successful. People might come and go, but it gets down in their heart because they're learning nutrition. They're learning how to combine foods. When we combine grocery foods the right way, we're controlling insulin. And as we learn the program and we get into the deeper dive, we'll find out that there's really nothing that we can't have. Now, some combinations you'll lose weight faster than other combinations, but all of them you'll lose weight. Does anybody know the color of the column that's the fastest for fat loss? What's the fastest one for fat loss? Thank you, Brother Bright. Best thing since sliced bread. And the whiter the bread, the quicker you're dead. The red. But you know which column that I think is the life-saving column? I mean, everybody kind of knows if I eat chicken and broccoli, I'm going to lose some body fat, that it has a high thermic effect, right? But it's that blue column that saved my life, because it's what allows me, Paulette, to have my potatoes, to have my long grain brown rice, to have these delicious carbohydrates and fruits, but yet know how to slow down that insulin sensitivity, that insulin impact. Once I spike insulin to a certain level, I cannot burn fat. My appetite goes up, fat storage takes place, efficient fat burning stops for up to 2 days. So learning how to combine those carbs and those fruits with lean proteins and fibrous carbs is going to make all the difference in the world. So even though we have Mighty Muffins and we have all this cool stuff and Shibboleth bars and shakes, and we've got tons of cool stuff, we're learning about real food. And we go through this in the book, beginning on page 295, to give you an idea of the categories. But let's take it to the grocery store. Geraldine, let's hit this slide. All right. So first off, if we're talking perimeter, we're talking more whole foods. We're not so much talking the inner aisles in this lesson. The inner aisles will get you in trouble. But we have formulas that are also in the book that will allow you to pick out the inner aisle stuff and still be successful. You'll learn what crackers to get. Those are in the food library, like Wassa Fiber, Wassa Crisp and Light. But those aren't whole foods. We're talking the perimeter. And when we go through this grocery store, the first thing we're looking at is category 1, lean proteins. Egg whites, chicken breast, turkey breast. You'll notice that the ounces are on here. 2 to 8 ounces for an eating episode is a doable portion. Anywhere between 2 and 8 ounces, we're in good shape there. I'd like for you to get more in line with the sweet spot, 4 to 6 ounces. That's usually going to fit neatly under your hand. 8 ounces, you better have big hands. Men folk, you can kind of push it to 8 ounces, most of you. But ladies, you're really wanting to stay around 4 to 6, a little bigger size than a deck of cards. Does that make sense? So you're talking chicken breast about the size of a deck of cards, maybe a little bit bigger, fits under the hand very neatly. If we do this up to 3 eating episodes, we're going to get enough protein. Here we've got egg whites, 2 to 8 ounces. That's a lot of egg whites. Egg whites are also a freebie. Chicken breast, 2 to 8 ounces. Turkey breast, 2 to 8 ounces. These are what we call exercise in a category. We're going to preserve muscle. We're going to get a lot of blood flow to the digestive system. these foods are ideal for fat loss. Now, we're talking about category 1, but let's refresh. If I cook these in butter fat, vegetable oil, or olive oil, are they still approved? This is nuance, but it's super important if we're going to be successful. They would still be approved. They would still be approved, but we got to turn them into category 4, because just like a steak, basically that chicken breast, if I cook olive oil into it, it has become a steak, right? Now we got protein and we got fat. So I want to point out too, not just chicken, like the breast of meat, the turkey breast, you've got all that wonderful deli meat too. So boar's head and Dietz and Watson are the best ones. And if it is, there's some exceptions to our rule. Normally ham is going to be a category 4. We'll get to this slide too. But while we're talking about chicken and turkey, I want to go and talk about it. Like lean tavern ham, we can count a 1. But if we're eating ham, when in doubt, we want to count it as what category? Yeah, this is true, Nancy, for category 7 as well. Yeah, normally ham, when in doubt, you want to count it as a 4. It doesn't matter what meat you're eating, even chicken breast. If you don't know what it was cooked with, you count it as a 4, and then you'll always be safe. Does that make sense? You'll always be safe. When in doubt, if it ever had a face, it's a 4. So venison, rabbit, whatever it is, if you don't have the nutritional profile and it's meat and you don't know what was cooked into it, this can be the difference between you reaching your goal and not reaching your goal. Now, how do we prepare these so that we can maintain them as a category 1 or category 7 for shellfish? We cook MCT into it, or we grill it. What if I use an approved condiment and I grill my chicken breast? Like if I use Stubbs barbecue sauce and I grill my chicken breast, what category is that? It'll just be a 1 because we used an approved condiment. So is everything you got to consider, not just what the meat is, but how it was prepared. What if somehow I used, with these egg whites, what if I use regular butter fat? What category are they now? I put a little butter, a little bluebonnet butter, and I scramble my egg whites. They become what category? A 4. What if I use Pam cooking spray? If I use Pam cooking spray, they become or remain a 1. Pam cooking spray, it would be a 1. That doesn't change anything. Do y'all get the gist of that? So you've got Pam, any approved condiment leaves it where it is. Pam cooking spray, ghee butter, coconut oil, and 100% MCT oil. Then it remains where it's at. Is everybody good with that? Now, if I buy boar's head or I buy Dietz and Watson and I get Dietz and Watson turkey breast, that's a 1, unless I cook something into it. If I get their lean tavern ham, it's a 1. If I have ham and I don't know for sure, I need to count it as a 4. Boar's head London broil. What category is that? There's some nuances here. It's a 1. What if I buy London broil and I don't have the nutrition label like I have on boar's head? If I buy it, it might be safer. I'm not going to fuss at you if you leave it a 1, but it might be safer to call it a 4 because you don't know for sure if it's a lean cut. Whereas we know through the boar's head nutrition label it is. So when in doubt, you might think this don't make a difference, but it does. So watch. So if I cook those egg whites in butter fat and then I have fruit, what's going to happen from what we've taught you so far? You're going to store it, aren't you? Because you've got the butter fat that's long-chain triglycerides that's hanging around, and they're waiting on a ride from the fat bus. And then we have the fruit, we got a problem. Even if we have our category 2, we've got a problem. So what if I have egg whites cooked in PAM or MCT, and I have some spinach and a little bit of fat-free cheese, and then I have some melon, some cantaloupe? Would that be approved as a combo? All this is in Fast Track too, gang. If you're new here, you had that today? Nice. Yeah, it would be approved because, here's what happens. Visualize, since it's awkward for me and I can't jump on the board. Visualize the cantaloupe. That causes a little bit of insulin, but there's some speed bumps called egg whites and spinach. That slows it down. So here comes a little bit of the fat bus, but where's the fat? If I have egg whites and MCT that is used up as an energy source so fast, I don't have any fat storage. Does everybody see that point that I'm making? So it's a really nuanced point, but it can make the difference between results and no results. Those combinations mean the world, y'all. That insulin, even a little bit of a spike, it takes so long for it to taper down. You're going to get, listen, everybody, you're going to get, Bryant, you're going to get a little bit of an insulin spike from almost anything. But the little bit, it isn't elevated to a point I can't lose fat. But if I'm always bumping it up with wrong combinations, even if it's a little portion, eventually it gets up there high, and now I have high levels of growth hormone. That's so nuanced, but it's important. Let's go to the next slide. Fish. Fish is one of the best lean proteins. All fish works on our program. Some of the best fish for fat loss would be like grouper, flounder, tuna. Tuna's a good one. I'm trying to think of the different ones. Cod is a good one. Haddock is a good one. These are really good for fat loss. Salmon's really good too. It's a little fattier, but it's full of the kind of fat that helps offset inflammation. Tilapia and catfish is still a category 1, but they're not the best. Can you have tilapia and catfish? Pretend we're in the grocery store right now holding this stuff up. Mahi's, it'll work. Yeah. Now, let me ask y'all this. Kelly, everybody, can I take catfish and can I bread it in cornmeal and flour, fry it in MCT oil, and eat it? That would be what category? That would be a holiday. You can't have that cornmeal, but is there a way for us to fix that? Could I do this? Could I have fish and bread it and fry it in TVP? Or could I do it in TVP? Textured vegetable protein? Yep. That would be a 1+2. Nancy said about we could do it in Carb Quick. Can I do it in Carb Quick and Fiber Wise? Yeah, but what category would it be with Carb Quick? We count it as a 4 and a 2. It's basically a 2, but it's got a lot of fat in it. Does that mean we can't have it breaded and fried in Carb Quick, or does it just mean we have to eliminate carbs and fruit? So if I'm wanting to have my carbs, or I want to have my potato with my fried fish, then I would have my breaded and fried fish in TVP. Fiber-wise would be a good addition to that. It would remain a category 1. Then I would add it to, say, my green beans and my potato. Does that make sense? If you're new, it's going to take repetitious learning and teaching, but once you got it, you'll never go back. Yeah, Carb Quick works great, but we need to count it like a 4 and a 2. So we wouldn't want to have our cantaloupe or our potato, because those are 3s and 5s. You pork tenderloin. In the grocery store, you'll find a lot of those flavored pork tenderloins. Most of them are a 1. Anytime we say pork, when we're in doubt, if we can't check our library, we count it as a 4. But a lot of those pork tenderloins, they are a category 1, even the ones with flavor. We've already talked about London broil. London broil is awesome over a salad. It's awesome to make a mock Philly cheesesteak. Has anybody done that, where you take the London broil fried in MCT oil, and then you have it with you can make you a mock Reuben? Have y'all done that? Some sauerkraut, a little approved cheese, makes a great mock Reuben, a mock Philly cheesesteak. That's fabulous. I love it over a salad. Let's go to the next slide. We got to take a look at processed meat. Now, this is another nuance. Everybody, this is another good nuance. Oh, yeah, you could have that London broil with bell peppers and onions sauteed. A lot of people will ask about the formulas, which are in the book. What's the formula for, say, steak? What's the formula for ham? Do I need a formula for steak? No. Anything right off the bone, we count it what it is. So if it's spare ribs, baby back ribs, steak, it's just right off the bone, and we count it as a 4. Does that make sense? But when we're talking processed meat, we have to go by a formula, because they use a lot of filler fat. So 96% lean ground meat is a category 1. I can have 2 to 8 ounces. Let me ask you this. Could I have, watch this, everybody, could I have 2 2-ounce hamburger patties, 96 lean ground beef, and have 2 hamburgers with 2 buns? Is that a rule that we can have? If I don't go over my ground meat allowance and I only have 4 ounces, 2 small 2-ounce patties, could I have 2 buns and have 2 burgers? No. Listen, here's a rule. I bet some of you didn't know this. Here's a rule. When you're in the weight loss mode, even if the calories are low, you can't have 2 hot dogs, 2 hamburgers, not the buns. Could I do this? Could I have 2 2-ounce patties and 1 approved category 2 bun? Yes. Yes. It's the bun that I'm afraid of. Okay, as long as we control our portion. 93% ground meat. Can I have it? If so, what category would 93 be? It's a 4. And here's the thing. 93% lean. Can y'all all visualize 1 pound of processed meat? Can you visualize that? A pound of processed meat. Those packages, 93%. Did you know at 93, that's a category 4. Jennifer's right. But did you know that half of what you're looking at is fat? Half of that package. If it's 85% lean, you're thinking that's lean, but 2/3 of that package is nothing but lard, slaughterhouse lard from all over the place. I would never put that in my body. Is there a type, this is advanced, bonus to those that know this, is there a top day? If I've got some ground beef in the freezer that's 80% lean, is there a top day that I could have 80% lean? It's not ideal, but is there a top day? Yeah, Cindy's right. I can have it on a lion or shark day. But otherwise, for a perfect day, a tiger day, 93 lean is your cutoff. Is everybody good with that? 91% lean it's out unless it's a lion or shark day. Your franks are a tough go. It's hard to find a good frank. Hebrew National, 97% lean. When you can find them, do what we do. We buy them and we freeze them. Freeze you up some Hebrew National 97% fat-free beef franks. Anytime you find them on sale. Those are a category 1. Then there's the ballpark smoked white turkey franks. There's more in the library, but these are the 2 main ones. I'm going to give you a little trick. The Hebrew National, if you will fry them in MCT oil, it'll add that full fat flavor back to them. They taste a lot better. This is how I have Kraut and Wieners. This is how I have my hot dog with my category 2 bun. Smoked white turkey franks, some people like them better because they're more plump. Does anybody know why I like Hebrew National better than the ballpark ones for fat loss? There's a problem with those. They have extra starch in them. The smoked white turkey frank, anytime you see listen to this, y'all. When you pick up a hot dog or kielbasa, if they have carbohydrate in them, what is that carbohydrate? Almost always, is starch. Starch metabolizes like sugar. Be careful with processed franks. Let's go to the next slide. New York strip. Steak is one of the best things for fat loss as long as you don't have a 3 or 5 with it. You have all of the essential amino acids. I call the essential amino acids gut be gone and butt be gone. You've got pork ribs, ribeye steak, New York strip. All of these work. Notice that I come down on the ounces. Whereby men might be able to push 8 ounces, I feel like it's best to stick with 2 to 6. Because more fat means more calories. Now, I know you might love it, but if it's hanging off the plate, that's a lot of calories. Supposed to be eating it off a 6 to 8 inch plate. Could I have pork ribs with some Stubbs marinade and count it a category 4? And a side of green beans? I could. Let's keep going. Beef ribs work. They're a 4 right off the bone. They're a 4. What about chicken livers? Can I have breaded and fried chicken livers in Carb Quick? I sure can. TVP would make it even better. A little fiber-wise. Dip it in some ketchup. In fact, not to be gross, to some, you don't like this, I get it, but organ meat is some of the most nutritional meat if you don't overdo it. Your filet mignon, right? That's a real delicious steak. Some filet mignon. Put you some of that good seasoning on it and grill that thing. Man, that's some eating. Could I do this? Could I have my filet mignon with some mashed cauliflower? Like a potato, some filet mignon and mashed cauli? I could, absolutely. Let's keep going. Brisket, category 4. Whole eggs, category 4. Whole eggs are one of the most nutritious foods on the planet Earth. Just got to be careful because you got the yolk, and that yolk is not bad for you unless you add it to fruit or you add it to carbohydrate. You have some hash browns. Could I do this? Could I have egg whites in Pam cooking spray with a slice of Category 2 toast and some hash browns in Pam or MCT? I could do that. But could I do whole eggs with hash browns? Couldn't do that because the 4 and the 3 won't work. Geraldine, did I lose you? I don't see. There it comes. Good. You're doing awesome. Then you got your 93% ground meat we've already talked about. Let's go to the next slide. Then we got some bologna. You know, in the food library, there's several different bolognas. Light bologna works, turkey bologna. We want to count it as a 4. And it don't taste real good, does it? Unless you add what to it? We call MCT duct tape. MCT fixes everything. I love my fried bologna sandwich on my Category 2, -2, -3 bread. I love that fried bologna sandwich. Fried in some MCT. And you can have several slices of it because it's not heavy in the calories. You've got all kind of bacons in the library, in your food library. You've got all kind of good bacons in there. Turkey bacon, beef bacon. Can I have regular full-fat bacon? I bet Cindy knows the answer. If so, what kind of day can I have full-fat bacon? Otherwise, it's got to be in the food library. Lion and shark days. That's it. Turkey spam. Now, this is inner aisle. This is not whole food. We know that. But we put it on here just to give you an idea. You can even have turkey spam. Fried in some MCT oil, and it's a Category 4. I put it on here because I eat a lot of it. Travis, you're a health coach. You shouldn't be eating turkey spam. I love it, though. I like to cut it up and put it on my salad. Center cut bacon on a Lion Day will work. Otherwise, we want to make sure it's in the library. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, I know spam ain't everybody's thing. Shellfish, all shellfish goes here. Man, I eat a lot of scallops. I eat a lot of those little Langostino lobster tails at Publix. They're pretty inexpensive in the frozen department. All shellfish works just like a Category 1 lean protein. They're exercise in a category. You'll never go wrong with the shellfish. Everybody good with that? Scallops, lobster, crab, shrimp. Long as you portion it. Now, the shell doesn't count. So with your crab meat, like if you're shelling it, it's quite a bit of crab meat. Usually about 2 to 3 clusters of crab meat. Isn't there some Category 4s you wouldn't want to use MCT? That's a good nuance. We never want to add MCT on purposefully to a 4. Does that make sense? We never want to add it purposefully. But if I do add it by accident or it's cooked into something else that's on the plate, does it alter the Category 4? That's a good question. It doesn't alter it. It's just, it's not ideal, right? Because what happens is, let's just use something, we wouldn't ever add MCT to a steak, but let's say that we did. Or we added a little ghee butter. So you've already got the long-chain triglyceride fat from the steak. It's got to be used as an energy source or it'll get stored as fat even without the fat bus. Did y'all know that? Even without the fat bus, too much fat, it can't all be utilized properly and it ends up getting stored. So if I add purposefully MCT to it, that's going to delay the time that the LCTs get used. So some of them are going to linger around and cause us to store that. Does that make sense? With that bologna, Brian, here's when I do it. That's good. I see your observation there. Here's when I'd add it to category 4s like bologna or the Franks that are category 1. Anytime I'm eating some processed meat that's got that rubbery taste, do you know what I'm talking about, Brian? I'm going to fix it with the MCT. It's not ideal from a nutritional standpoint, but I won't eat it. Like I don't like those Hebrew National Franks without adding. That's a 1. So let's go back to the bologna or the Spam. That they're not fatty enough, so I'll add the good fat to it just to make it palatable. Does that make sense? And while I'm giving up something nutritionally, it's still okay, and I made it enjoyable. Does that help the way I put that? Gotcha. Good deal. Let's go to the next slide. All shellfish works. Category 7. Wait a minute though. Let's go back one more. If I take shellfish, watch this. If I go to a restaurant and I order mussels, what category do I want to count those mussels? That's right, Kelly. I agree. That goes with whole eggs. If you want to add MCT to whole eggs to make them better, you can, but they're not as good nutritionally. It's better if you can eat your whole eggs in Pam, it's better to do that because you want your body to use that yolk up. Do you follow me? Egg whites is a different story. This is a good point y'all are bringing out. Egg whites in a full fat, you're just turning it into a 4. But if we take whole eggs, you got the yolk that's a LCT and you're adding the MCT. The MCTs is going to burn up first as an energy source, but that's going to delay. This is critical point here. That's going to delay. The closer you get to goal, the more you can, these little nuances make the difference. Back to mussels. So if I'm at a restaurant and I have mussels, are they usually basting them or cooking them in an oil? That's right. I think Sharon's on it. We turn it into a 4. Just like a 1 goes to a 4, a 7 will go to a 4. Is that good with everybody? You got that? So what if I'm at Red Lobster and I order the scampi and broccoli? No Cheddar Bay biscuits. That would be a holiday. What category is that scampi at Red Lobster? Makes a difference how we treat it. 4, because Audrey, we want to stay away from that tater. What if I'm at home and I have scampi and ghee? Can I have potato and broccoli with my scampi? On my portion plate, could I have scampi, potato and broccoli under this hand, scampi under this one, cooked in ghee? Yeah. Here's the easy rule. Anytime you eat at a restaurant, you should avoid what categories? You should avoid 3s and 5s at restaurants in the weight loss mode, and probably should avoid 6s. But you can get away with a little bit. Okay. Then we got our produce department. Man, all of these are exercise on a stalk, elliptical on a stem, broccoli. What happens if I cook my broccoli in olive oil? It's a 4. Even though it's a 2, it doesn't really become a 4, but it means there's now a 4 on the plate. You have broccoli sauteed in olive oil. Now all of a sudden, you got a 4 on the plate. Does that make sense to everyone? Got to be careful even with your fibrous carbs, because at a restaurant, if I go to Olive Garden, that asparagus, they're not cooking it in MCT oil. I need to do that at home if I want it to remain a category 2. It becomes a 2 plus 4. All squash is allowed. What about this? Could I do this? Could I have stewed squash with bouillon cubes and have it as a freebie? Yep. All category 2s are also a freebie as long as there's no fat cooked into them. Everybody get that? The breads aren't freebies. Breads are never freebie, even the category 2. But all vegetables. So if I get in a tight and I need to graze on something, can I have cabbage? Yes. Can I have stewed squash in bouillon? Yes. Can I have asparagus tips dipped in salsa? Yes. I don't want to graze because those asparagus tips in salsa will end up becoming a Dorito because I haven't broke the habit of grazing. But if I really need it, I can do that and get away with it. Any category 2 veggie. The only one to really be careful with is butternut squash. It's kind of high in carbs. You can still do it. Have a little bit as an extra. One of the tricks I do, like I like tater tots. So I'll take butternut squash, a 1/4 cup of it, and I'll fry it in MCT oil, mash it up, fry it in MCT oil, and it can be an extra without it counting too much. Dip it in a little ketchup, and I'm good to go. Does that make sense, everyone? Then we got okra. Did you know pickled okra is a freebie? Of course, pickles are. Watch out for sweet pickles at the grocery store. If you want sweet pickles, it needs to be in one of the approved sweeteners. There are some in the grocery store that are pickled, sweet pickles in Splenda. But mainly we want dill pickles. Cucumbers with a little Bragg's apple cider vinegar and salt and pepper on them, man, they're awesome too. All dill pickles are a freebie or a category 2. All leafy greens work. Let's keep going. Peppers are fabulous. Which ones are more nutrient dense? Green peppers or colored peppers? Colored are more nutrient dense, but they're all category 2s. Could I do this? Could I have a bell pepper or a poblano pepper and stuff it with 96% lean ground beef and use some approved condiments and a little approved cheese and count it as a 1 and 2? Fat-free cheese, lean ground beef, condiments, in a poblano pepper. Yeah, good stuff. Peppers are great for you. Here's another trick. When you go to the Mexican restaurant, if you forget to take your chips in, ask them to bring to the table sliced bell peppers. Can you dip bell peppers in the salsa all night long while everybody else is eating them bus chips? Sure can. All these little tricks. Could I dip my bell peppers in cheese dip while they're eating their chips and call it an extra if I don't eat too much cheese? Sure can. Just tricks. Best to carry your own chips in, but I've been known to ask them, bring me celery, bell peppers, about this slice, and they usually do that. Let's go to the next slide. Mushrooms are fabulous. They're the only plant that I'm aware of that breathes oxygen like a person. They're a fungus. They're great for the immune system. Lion's mane, all the different mushrooms are like miracle grow for the brain. Mushrooms are great in MCT, Pam cooking spray. in any kind of dish, really. Some fajita stir fry, put them mushrooms in there. They're good for you. They're a freebie unless you cook the wrong fat into them. Then they're a 4 and a 2. Cabbage, I ate lots of cabbage. That's a freebie if you boil it up and don't add any fat to it. Let's go to the next slide. Stuffed mushroom. Did you know that you can take what's the mushroom? It's escaping me. Portobello. Did you know that portobello mushroom makes for a good hamburger bun? And then you get rid of that starch in that bread. Even the approved bread has starch in it. And boy, it sure does make a tasty burger when you use, as a bun, you use that portobello mushroom. Also, the portobello's, a little piece of fat-free cheese over the top. Did y'all know this? Fat-free cheese over a portobello in the oven is a freebie. Did y'all know that? How about that trick for you? All right, let's keep going. We got green beans and cauliflower. Cauliflower is my new potato. I will still eat a potato, but it's rare because mashed cauliflower tastes so good. And also riced cauliflower as your rice replacement. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, we're going to come to a pause there if Geraldine will bring me back to the screen. We got a lot more next week as we go the perimeter and inner aisles of the grocery store. Got one more thing for you tonight that we'll hit on, and then I'll let you go. We'll let her take us off the slideshow there. I'm going to pause there. Thank you, Geraldine. Great job tonight, Geraldine. Did everybody get something out of this little lesson? Did you enjoy it okay? Did you learn anything? All right. Good deal. Good deal. Sandra, good to have everybody. Good to see you all. Okay, so tomorrow I promised y'all a Mexican menu, right? Hear me. So far we've had 4 different meal plans. We promised the Mexican one this week. You don't have to stick to the Mexican menu for a week. You can use any of the prior meal plans. She did a great, thank you, Maureen. Thank you, everybody. She did a great Vanna White. Geraldine, do you know who Vanna White is? They just complimented you. She's popular. Great job, Geraldine, as always. So, we've got a great little menu for you, Mexican menu. We've got a Mexican scramble for breakfast. We've got burrito recipes, taco recipes. We've got all kind of recipes that's going out tomorrow in class notes. Be on the lookout for it. You'll get hold of that, and you'll be able to incorporate some more meal ideas. You should know how to do that anyway, but it'll just help you not have to think about it because you'll have a great recipe. I tried to do just like a Mexican restaurant. I tried to do fried bread, fried meat, fried cheese, fried vegetables. Whether it's an enchilada or whether it's fajitas or whether a burrito or a chalupa, it's all the same, isn't it? So we'll send you some ideas. The difference is usually you eat Mexican, it tastes good and you gain weight. You'll eat these and it'll taste good and you'll lose weight. Awesome. All right. Any questions or comments in the thread before we go? Did y'all like StreamYard okay? Hopefully we'll all get used to it. I'll get better at it. Geraldine will work with me tomorrow and help me get better at it myself. Y'all like it okay? Did y'all like StreamYard? Good deal. What category did you say broccoli or asparagus at a restaurant should be? Let me ask everybody. If you don't ask any questions and they bring you broccoli and asparagus, what should you treat it as to be safe? Awesome, Brian. Yeah, category 4, Cindy, you're right. Yeah, you can't do the Mexican restaurants and that while you do the detox. Now, if I ask the waiter or waitress, I asked them what it was cooked in, or I tell them don't put any oil in it, then if I trust them, can I have it as a category 2? If I ask them and they say, or if I ask, will you make sure that my vegetable is not cooked in a fat, and you use Pam or you don't use any cooking fat, and they say they did it, I would trust that. But if I don't know, I count it as a 4. Kelly says it kept logging her out. I'm so sorry. We'll try to work on it and figure out why that's happening. I don't know. This is such a new platform. Yeah, Debbie says ask for steamed. Ask for steamed. That's right. But they might, Kathy nailed it, if they might still add fat because they want you to enjoy it, and fat really flavors those vegetables. So be careful. When in doubt, if you're trying to lose weight, please avoid. You'll still enjoy the meal. You can enjoy it and gain weight, or enjoy it and lose weight. So just when in doubt, avoid 3s and 5s and some 6s in the restaurant. I don't know, Jennifer. I will figure it out, though, about re-registration. I'm still learning it. We tried to negotiate with Zoom today. We were unsuccessful. I'll deal with that some more tomorrow. But this is our new, we've been trying to move to this one anyway. It has more capabilities, but it's going to take us a little while to figure it all out. We appreciate our Faithfully Fit members bearing with us. Is everybody happy and good? Look in your class notes tomorrow for Mexican. Hope everybody had a good evening. Next week, we've got lesson 6. We'll keep working through the perimeter, but get into some perfect pairings in the inner aisles. What am I talking about? So there's things that we can pair together in the inner aisles that we can make work that we couldn't otherwise make work. All right, we love you all. Thank you so much. I'm going to close us out in prayer. Thank you, Geraldine. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Thank you so much. All right. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.